Hello and welcome to Pydantic. In the previous video, we explored LangChain messages. Now let's move on to the something even more important, LangChain models. So, what exactly are models? At the core, LLM are powerful AI system that can understand and generate human-like text. They are incredibly versatile. You can use them to write content, translate language, summarize information, or question answer, all without training a separate model for each task. But modern models go far beyond just text generation. Many of them support advanced capabilities like tool calling, structure output, multimodality, and reasoning. In tool calling, where the model can interact with the external tools like APIs or database and use this data in its response. Structure output, where responses follow a predefined format, which is specifically used for building an application. Multimodality means model can handle not just text but also image, audios and even videos. Reasoning where model can think through multi-step problem before arriving at answer. Now here is a key idea. Model are the reasoning engine of agent. They decide which tool to call, how to interpret its result and when to give the final answer. So naturally, the model you choose has a huge impact on your application's performance and reliability. Different models are good at different things. Some are better at following complex instructions, some excel at structured reasoning, other can handle much large context, meaning they can process more information at once. This is where LangChain really shine. LangChain provide a standard model interface which allow you to easily switch between different model provider without changing your core application code. That means you can experiment freely and choose the best model for your use case. There are three core ways to interact with a model: invoke, stream, batch. In invoke, we send a input message and receive a complete response. In stream, get a response in real time, a chunk wise chunk we get the data. So it's great for the chat application. Batch, where we send multiple requests at once for more efficient processing. Now let's talk about one of the most important feature, structure output. By default model written free form text. That is useful for conversation but not always reliable for applications. Structure output for Structure output allow you to force the model to respond in a specific format based on the defined schema. For example, instead of paragraph, you can get a JSON object, a list of field, or any structure format your system expected. This is extremely useful because it makes the output easy to parse, reliable to use, and ready for the automation. Without a structure output, you have to clean manually and the interpreted response, which can easily break. With structure output, your system become more stable and production ready. Now let's move on to the implementation in Python, where we will translate this concept into a practical code and see how it's worked step by step. So first you will install all the necessary package. Once you install all the necessary package like LangChain and Pydantic, will import all the packages here. After importing all the packages, we'll load .env file. So using load underscore .env, we can load the env file. So inside the env file, we have stored API key for the OpenAI key. So by verifying like whether it is loaded correct API key or not, so we'll print this first few API key digits, first few API key character, right? This way we can validate like it is the correct API key, whether it is taking or wrong. Once the API key has been loaded, we can initialize the model. So here we have inside the init chat model, we have passed GPT 4.1 model. So you can pass any of the model latest version of the AI. Like I have passed GPT, you can pass Anthropic one or Gemini, whatever you want, you can pass it here. Once you pass it, then we can pass the our query inside the model to using the invoke function. So by using invoke, we can invoke the model and pass our query. So as we pass our query, it will generate a AI response. So here you can see the message in AI message format. As we have a content, inside the content we have a response. The capital of Chile is Santiago. Okay, and the response metadata. Inside the response metadata, we have a prompt token, total token, completion token, and all parameter. So like this way, here we have only passed the model name. So we can pass the temperature, which control the randomness, max token, how long your response should be. So it's maximum length of the response here. And top p is a probability, like it's total probability of 1 or point 0.9. So it's select the first few token, first few correct that words generated word. So based on the probability, I have explained already these things in the videos. You can check out the link in description for this video. After this, we have another way to call this model is ChatOpenAI, or you can call the Anthropic one also, Gemini also. They have different. Every service provider have a different wrapper also. So by using, you can call the model by using any chat model or by using the chat open API or any service provider. The difference is that if you call the chat model API, where based on the model, it will automatically decide like you are using GPT or Anthropic one. But here you can in the chat open API, or you can pass the only chat GPT model. So this is the major difference between the chat API and chat open API and any chat model. So similarly here also we pass the query and it will generate a response, the response in AI message format. Next we have a model streaming response. So here inside the invoke we'll get the response after the completing full response. It will generate the full response at once, right? But in stream we'll get the response in chunk format. Like every response will a model generate, it will get here in the streaming format. Like if you have already used a Gemini or ChatGPT, so there we are getting a response in a chunking format. Like that way, we are also in model.stream. We'll get the response in chunking formats. You can see it here. So there is the next one is batch formats. Here we have passed the multiple queries at once, and will get the response for the each of these uh, response, each of these question queries answer in response formats. So here we can see the kind of contents. So this is in a proper order formats. So once all the queries response is complete, so it will generate the whole content, all this queries response in at once time. So there's a different model as well, different function as well, batch underscore complete functions. So it will come whatever the queries answer is complete, it will response that it will return the response of that questions. So it so you can in batch we have data in order format always, or like we have pass. First question is related to parrot, second is related to aeroplane, third one is a quantum computing. So this is also written a response in proper ordering format, but in batches completed it's not in ordering formats. So whatever the queries response get completed first, it will return the first. Next, we have a structure output formats. So here we pass the query to our model, and model will generate a response in a structure format. Like here we have a title, year, direction, and rating. So here we define the Pydantic model formats. Based on this Pydantic class, it will generate a response in this format. So here we have a title, year, direction, rating based on the my question. So you can try with different. It is for the mostly for the protection format. I hope you now have a clear understanding of how chat model work in LangChain. If you have any question, feel free to ask. I will see you in next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.